What's going on, guys? Back at it again. Today we're going to be taking a look at this guy here. This is a Lenovo ThinkPad X220 that I recently picked up. I got this thing for $10 untested without a charger, so it's a little bit of a risk, but it ended up working out. So this is a little 12-inch like professional notebook from Lenovo. This is from about 2011 as far as I can tell, because it is a Sandy Bridge based machine. Now a couple of you, probably like two people honestly, might remember that back in like 2015-ish I had a ThinkPad X201, which was a first gen iSeries based version of basically this exact same thing, and I actually really ended up enjoying it. I actually used it as a, I guess like a secondary laptop. I'd take it to like places that I had space limited, such as like flying and whatnot, and I really liked it, but I ended up getting rid of it. Don't really remember why or what the details of that were, but anyway, this is kind of a machine in the same vein. So it's in pretty decent shape. I mean, it's not all scratched and nicked up, really. It is missing the E out of the Lenovo, so we're just Lenovo, but it kind of works out. But yeah, there we have it. Of course, these ThinkPads all have this like soft touch black matte finish on them that, harkens back to when IBM was still in charge of the ThinkPad line. So pretty thin, pretty light. I like it. If we go over here, you can see we have a heatsink. We've got a USB 2.0 ports here. The I believe USB 3 was optional on these, but I'm not entirely sure what the stipulations of that was. But this one just has USB 2. Got a VGA port and a display port, and I believe this is a PC card slot, or maybe an express card slot, I don't remember. We've got our Wi-Fi toggle switch here. If we move around to the front, we don't have really anything. Moving over here, I think we have a powered USB port, that's why it's yellow. We have an SD card slot, which is kind of handy. We've got an Ethernet port, a headphone jack, and then this is where the hard drive lives. Going around the bottom here, we have a little battery here, and then our memory door. I put 6 gigs of RAM in this thing. It had 4 when I got it, but I added an additional 2 gigabyte stick. And another thing that was cool is when I got this machine, I didn't have a charger for it right away. Well, actually, that's not true, but anyway, when I got this machine, it ended up coming with a Samsung SSD. I believe it's like an 840 Pro or an 840 Evo or something like that, so or maybe an 850, I'm not too sure. So that was cool. I mean, that was worth the $10 right there. But that's pretty much a tour around the machine here. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let me readjust the camera a little bit here. And as you can see, like I said, it's a 12-inch notebook, which I actually think are really nice. I like these tiny little computers. They're kind of endearing. But we have a display up here. I believe this is probably 1280 by 800. I don't remember off the top of my head, but going down there, you can see we have our X220 branding. We've got some status indicators there, and the Lenovo logo over there. We also have the volume controls and the Think Vantage button, which, yeah. Going down here, you can see we have our familiar ThinkPad keyboard. They kind of retained this for quite a while. I believe, in the later 2010s they got rid of it, but there it is. And then we also have our track point still, which is actually a lot better than this touchpad down here. I really, really don't like this touchpad at all. The tracking sucks, and it's one of those that has like integrated buttons, and yeah, it's just really not great. But over there you can see it is a Core i5. It's a Sandy Bridge based computer, like I mentioned before, and we are designed for Windows 7. So there you have it. And this one also does have the fingerprint reader there, so that's kind of nice. So there we have it. I'll go ahead and turn it on now, I suppose. And the battery still does work, which is kind of nice. I charged it up, and it actually seems to hold a decent charge, so that's kind of nice. Of course, you may have noticed that this thing also does have the famed Think Light, so this was before they integrated backlit keyboards, I guess, so we have our Think Light. My 90s, or I guess late 90s, early 2000s ThinkPad T21 has that as well. It's a hallmark ThinkPad feature, so there we have it. I wonder if I can turn this display brightness down a little bit. Yeah. There we go, just to kind of even out the video a little bit. But if I zoom into the screen here, we can take a look at some stuff. Not much, because I don't really have anything on here. I just reinstalled Windows 7. It came with a corrupted install of Windows 10, but we got rid of that. And yeah, okay, so it's actually 1366 by 768. This is the, base TN panel. There was an IPS panel optional, which apparently does look a whole lot better, but this is the TN panel. And then if you notice the flickering there, that's just my camera. It's not the computer, so... Anyhow, let's go ahead and look at the system properties real quick, like I typically do in these little laptop overview videos. But there we have it. If I zoom in here, you can see that it is a Core i5-2520M. I believe it's a dual core with hyper-threading. I believe the bigger ThinkPad models had quad cores optional, but like I said, this is just an ultra portable type deal. We have 6 gigabytes of RAM there. And then, if I open up Specky here, we can take a look at a little bit more in-depth information. Let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit there. So, like I said, 6 gigs of RAM. We have just HD 3000 graphics integrated. Not great, but there you can see we have our Samsung 850 EVO SSD, 120 gigs. So, like I said, that was worth the $10 right there. So, I'm not at all mad about that. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I put Firefox on here because it still actually can browse the internet at a decent rate, which is kind of surprising. I mean, Sandy Bridge was a good architecture and all, but it is 11 years old now. But it can still, go on YouTube and stuff. I'm not sure if it can actually watch YouTube videos, but, it can load the site. So that's pretty much that. But other than that, I really have nothing else to show you in the hardware space, but... there you have it. That's just a little overview video on this ThinkPad. I will go ahead and shut her down. And that'll be a wrap for this one, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video, whatever that happens to be. See you later.